welcome to the Opelika Bulldog Show. The Opelika football team made it to the playoffs with a big win over Central of Phoenix City last Friday night with a score of 28-0. They have a chance to be area champs for the first time in 5 years with a win over Auburn Friday night. Now here's Coach Spencer McCracken and Mark Mitchell.
Welcome to the Opelika Bulldog Review. I'm your host, Mark Mitchell, along with head football coach and athletic director, Coach Spencer McCracken. Dogs' big win Friday night over Phoenix City here at Bulldog Stadium to clinch a playoff berth. We'll be back to check those highlights and talk to Coach McCracken right after this short timeout. Okay, welcome back. Coach, before we watch these highlights, congratulations. Big win Friday night, beating Phoenix City to Central High School over in Phoenix City here at Bulldog Stadium in front of an absolutely packed crowd. Big win for you, 28-0 over the Red Devils.
Well, Mark, it was by far the biggest win that our program's had since we've all been together, and it's been a long time coming. It's been a frustrating 3 years not being in the state playoffs in the state of Alabama, and but we've accomplished that goal now. I am so very proud of our kids, of our whole program, and where we're headed. And I want to thank the people of Opelika for coming to the game. Our kids play their hearts out. Everybody cheered hard. I want to compliment Central on a game well played. Ron's done a great job as a first-year coach over there. They'll win many games at Central in the years to come. But the night belonged to Opelika, and it was a great, great win for the Bulldogs.
No doubt. Coach, I've been broadcasting 17 seasons. Been in school, before that and watched it as a little kid. And before the game, I had not felt that kind of emotion in the stands and just being around the people. It was unreal. I mean, it was like you could just cut it with a knife. It was so thick. And throughout the game, I even had to adjust. We have a field microphone to pick up noise. I had to adjust it 2 or 3 times just to hear ourselves over it. And I just thought that it was so good for the Opelika people to respond to our team like that, because our guys and your team and your coaches have coached so hard, prepared so long. And I'm not just singing a good song because there's a lot of football left, but Friday night was a nice night at Opelika.
Well, there's a lot of work's gone into that, and there's a lot of people that have gone into getting us where we are right now. A lot of people, a lot of coaches and players and fans and supporters. I was talking to Teresa Ogletree Saturday, and she said Ronnie Spriggs was up in the stands selling those shakers. She said at first sales weren't real good. By about when it got to be 21-0, said Spriggs was going back to get him extras, and Teresa said they almost sold out of the shakers.
Well, that's good,
and hopefully in our first round playoff game and starting Friday night at Auburn, let's keep up the great spirit that the Opelika people have had.
Well, I know they'll be there Friday night. Let's check those highlights now if we can get into the game film. Opelika and Central here at Bulldog Stadium, the second area game for Opelika to win. Here's the officials at midfield. And I think we lost the toss, Coach. Was the only thing we lost.
First coin toss we've lost this year. Yeah. And we chose, of course, that they deferred and we received. And that's a great group of seniors out there, Mark. That's our largest group of seniors that we've ever had, represented by Corbett Ogletree, who was our spokesman, and John Duckworth and Jason Maddox and Troy Baggett. But our kids were just sky high for the game, and we knew this guy couldn't kick off very well. But
was that meant to be?
No, he almost missed the ball. It just. And they gave us great field position, and we're going to lose it when we don't make the first down in just a few minutes. But, we came out of the chute pretty good, Mark. Let me tell you and all the folks watching these highlights, the best 3 defensive front in the state as a group, as a whole group, size-wise and talent-wise that we played this year. And, they were not easy to run at, no. But our kids played hard. We didn't grade quite as well as we graded in a couple of past films because of their talent, but we hung in there and made some first downs. This was the first down that we went for on 4th and 1, yeah, and we ran the swap quarterback sneak behind Duckworth and Thomas, and they stuffed us.
Looked like they had some penetration on our center, and it made him go back and into Corbett. Well, he never got across the line.
I'm kind of glad that happened, Mark. It's give us something real big to work on next week. Jason jumps off. Deion Mitchell jumped off sides right there. We started off defensively real well. I knew this was going to be a war in the first quarter and the second. I didn't have any idea how long it was going to go like this, but Jason Maddox, a great play right there. We really played good defensively early, Mark, and the field position
Go ahead. I was going to say that
the field position is not really going to change, but it changed after that
Right.
quarterback sneak. I
Right.
thought we almost blocked. We almost blocked 3 punts,
Right.
Mark, and we just didn't get to them.
And, you know, they got, and you'll see this in the highlights, they pick up about 10 yards on each possession here, early, and it kind of concerned me until that big play that we made defensively. But here's a nice pass to Henderson there.
Yeah, and
He
we
caught.
Brian called a nice little old safe pass there, and boy, they had Corey picked out.
didn't they?
They had 2 on him. They weren't going to let him run outside.
One of the
and,
rare times he loses yards.
So we're going to try to come up with some more ways to get him the ball.
Pretty good
Different.
punt, 30 yards, no return.
Our punt return team, our punting team has done outstanding.
But see, they
on
picked
that.
up 5 yards on exchange right there from where they had it
Absolutely,
before.
and they're gonna make 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 yards right up to the middle of the Bulldog, and yeah, they got some good athletes. What a great play by LaMarcus Rao. They've got some great athletes, Mark, and
Yet to pick up a first down here. First 2 series they go without a first down.
and
Coach.
we're not. That's right.
And this was a big play for them because we couldn't field that punt, and it got about 10 yards on the road. But Greg did the right thing, I think, by getting out of the way.
Absolutely, and that's another punt that Tim Evans, I thought
Could've
Greg
blocked.
Ferguson had blocked, and we just didn't get it. But we're going to work on that hard this week. You see where we're backed up, and when you backed up this far, it really makes it tough on your offense. We got a lot of standing around going on right now. We're not blocking a whole lot of people, and they're whipping us up front. We tried to run some. Boy, look at that big boy. He goes about 297, and he'll hit you. He'll knock you down. Travis kicks it back out, and if you look at our punt coverage, though, it's they don't get anything on the returns like they did last year.
But they picked up some yards on the possession. See, they're into our territory.
That's right. That's that fine Trandus Luke, the junior running back, and that's the longest run that he's going to make of the night. And after this, we're going
to stop them.
Right, and Torrey Baggett misses a tackle right here, and they're going to take the ball all the way down to about the 20 yards. There's a lot of shoving and pushing going on down there. These two teams aren't real fond of each other.
No, they're not, Coach. That's true.
Corey got a shove in there, and then the guy shoved him back.
Big stop there because it's fixing to be 3rd and 4th down. Into the quarter, we go to the other end. I believe this is the 3rd down play, Coach.
That's right.
3rd and short. As you see, they only need about a yard on 3rd down.
We put our goal line team in there. Smitty put them in there, and we held them to 1 yard and 2 carries.
That's right.
John Duckworth, Deion Mitchell, some of the big kids in there really came up big here. That's Donald Johnson who tackled Luke right there, and
Now you send
got
your
us
big
the ball.
guys in 4th down.
And this is a great.
Coach, they need inches. I mean, just inches.
I know the back slips down, but if you look up at the top of the screen around the guard position, they're not knocking Deion out of there, and the linebackers are able to field.
Our defense knew they'd stop him right off.
That's right.
Big play in the game, Coach.
And everybody got fired up, and they turned around and whopped Al Cole for no gain. And you knew back then it was going to be a defensive game. And and that number 56 and 57, great players.
Now here's where we're fixing to get our turnover after this punt.
And Mark, I think everybody needs to remember something too. This Central team should have won the state championship last year. And they didn't, and they were preseason. Ooh, Torrey Baggett,
Almost got
great
that.
lick, and he's going to make
Here's
this
the-
guy
here's the
think
fumble,
about
Coach.
this fumble
Here's
right
the
here.
fumble. Now watch this, folks. This is unbelievable here. This turned the game around, in my opinion.
This ball just bounced right up to LaMarcus. It was going to be a trap play.
Rolled, and he scoops it, and he's gone.
Oh, LaMarcus, I thought he was going to fall down. Bless his heart. That ball just came right up to me. And I love what he said in the paper, Mark. He said he did that for his team.
Yeah, that was great.
And,
Fantastic touchdown. 7-0 Dogs after the point after.
That was a super way to get started. And it really electrified the crowd and
Oh,
everybody.
man.
And I think it took a little wind out of Central because they've been doing this all year. They've been turning the ball over. And Ron had told me that was the way he felt like he could win. And
Seems like they got a little nervous, Coach, after that. He fumbles here, but it goes out of bounds.
absolutely. What I was telling you though is this team was picked preseason to win the state championship, and they had a great football team. If they hadn't turned the ball over this year, they'd really be a lot better off than they are right now, Mark.
I agree.
And,
I agree.
But I still look for them to
Make some
to
noise.
get it, to make some noise and get in the playoffs here at the end of the year. Here's a little old stunt by Donald Johnson.
That was
and
3rd down.
That was a great play.
Big play. Now they're going to have to punt the ball. Of course, he runs with it. We tackle him, but he's a runner because he ran with it. Got off about a 13-yard kick.
That's right. And look at the field position now,
Great
Mark.
field position, up 7-0. Place is going berserk.
Oh, yeah, and
11 yards right here.
Al runs over Brian Dickerson.
Yeah.
Oh, Kente trying to block out there. And, you know, we were out there. Everybody was really excited about it.
9-yard run here by Cole. Picked up 11 and 9 in 2 straight plays. Gets another first down on this next play. Gets about 2 yards off tackle.
That's right.
Another first down. And this is Corey's run here in just a minute. That was first down.
Al's got to hold on that ball, too.
Yeah.
I think this is it right here,
this
Mark.
is Larkin's run. Unbelievable. Cuts in.
Great block by Will Heath right there.
Unreal, Coach. Look at that speed. Just goes down and wouldn't be denied. Could have been a little late hit there, but he was out of bounds at the 3.
Absolutely. Kente Evans made a great block.
Now watch this run right here, Coach. He just wouldn't get. I mean, you can't stop him. Look, I mean, we're not. Look, just
Kelvin
he carried
Henderson
the guys in the end zone.
That's right, and we had some good blocking over there on that side.
Hughley, I believe, leading the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, boy, he can block now,
Yes,
Mark.
he can.
He not only is a good nose guard, he can block. Dallas kicks it through, and it's 14-0. And buddy, when you up 14-0 on Central in the second quarter, you feel with 5 minutes to go. I really felt good.
Oh, I did too, Coach.
But here in a minute, when it goes 21, I really feel good.
I know.
I said, well, I just, I knew that
Bobbled
was
the
going to
snap.
be a lot of points to make up.
And bust
Great
in.
coverage.
Now, I was surprised at Central in this situation to come out and throw, Coach, on this next play. I mean, down 14 in their own hole. The game wasn't over by any means, and he comes out and throws a pass here, and he just lays it up. Larkin just comes across the field to get this pass.
It was a great jam by J.R.
I
Strickland
mean,
on
look
the
at this,
play,
folks.
too.
He's gone. You're not going to catch him. You
No.
can forget it. I mean,
And we got one good block for him right there, and Corey's really excited. What a great play.
I mean,
it's his birthday too Friday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Corey.
Yeah,
Late birthday.
It was his birthday, and what a way to celebrate your birthday to score a touchdown.
look at the folks in the end zone going crazy. They're going crazy on the side. It's 21-0 in the span of about 4 minutes, Coach, that we went up 21 points. I know you had to feel good. Your team played so well in the second half to have a good lead at halftime.
Yeah, I think they did. I think we kept our mental. A great hit by J.R. Strickland
Still getting
right
after
there.
it, Coach. Still getting after it.
And the philosophy now was to just make sure that we didn't give Central any kind of big plays,
Right.
and play hard, and play like it's 21-0, and we're losing. And so that's basically the way we
I think they fumble here in just a minute.
approached
I
it.
believe
Yeah,
they
that's
fumble right there, and we recovered.
Williams fumbles, and I don't know who got the ball, but
I think it might have been Ryle. I wasn't sure. Here's Al for a couple.
Brian and I were disappointed we didn't get at least 3 points on this drive, Mark.
Yeah, me too, Coach. I
It's a
felt
good
like
play by Corbett. Boy, I tell you
Yeah,
what, he's
it was
getting
a
better
nice
running
run,
and
yeah.
passing, Mark.
he really threw some nice
Mark,
passes.
his percentage is up 50%. I don't know if you know that or
No, I
not.
didn't.
He's completed 50% of balls, and he's only thrown 2 interceptions as compared to 7 or 8 or 9 last year.
One of them was tipped.
Oh yeah, and that is what we've been looking for. We've been looking for that quarterback that can get it up to about 60%. I told him, I told Brian, let's see if we can get him up to about 60%, because that really makes it. And just keep away from the interception. And our football team, our offensive football team, I know that a lot of people don't realize how important this is, has not had a turnover in 2 ball games.
Yeah, I didn't know
and
that.
you know when you look around and you've seen other teams having 5 and 6 a game at this point in the season, it really works to your advantage. And as we go along in the season, you're gonna find that the defenses are gonna get better. And while the defenses get better, then the turnovers have to be cut down. And you're going to have a game's scores of 14-7, 7-0 into the playoffs, and those teams that don't turn the ball over, the teams are going to win their games.
Well, it's good that we cut them down, because it's late in the year. The 2 area games is the 2 games that we haven't turned it over.
Yeah,
That's big.
I know. It is, Mark. You know, and nobody's said much about that, but I'm going to
No,
really
I
talk to
understand.
them
I
about
agree.
that at practice.
That's big. You know, you don't say about it until you turn the ball over.
That's
I mean, you
right.
say- Dallas was short on the field goal of 35 yards, and he really could have. His leg has the distance to make it, but he was a little short, got up under it a little bit too much.
That's the last play of the half.
Last play
I
of the
got
half.
to tackle Trandis Luke over on the sideline.
Oh, is that right?
I caught him because he was thinking to run over me. But we chose to to kick off the exact same way we've been kicking off. There wasn't much wind at Bulldog Stadium, and
No.
so we got good coverage on our return, on our kickoff coverage, and the best thing about this first series, Mark, is it's 1, 2, 3, and out.
That's exactly right.
The
Good
first
run here, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had him in the backfield. I think Coach Gore said that, but that came out. We knew this was going to be the time. We ran a smoke stunt right there. Sistrunk and Jason Clark
Jason played
held them,
well.
and then they try a little option. They change quarterbacks and use the little running quarterback, and we need to stop on the whistle, boys. But we make them punt, and Mark, what a better way to start the second half than you have your own. But watch this punt return.
Good run by Greg.
Almost. Oh, Mark, these are some moves now that you don't coach. We got it all the way at their 40-yard line.
You didn't coach those moves?
No. No. But now we've got, boy, what a great run by Al.
He dropped it, but he was on the ground.
Yeah, it was real close there. But anyway, we continue to run the ball on the ground. This is a great drive.
Jumped off sides in, I think.
I think Corbett's going to make the great throw here in just a minute. And you're going to see a great move by Al Cole.
Oh, yes. It was third and long.
Oh, goodness. This is sensational. He's going to make 3 people miss. Watch it.
No, this is Henderson.
That's
here.
Henderson.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's coming up. And Kelvin, I don't know why the official.
Third and 13 here, I think. No, next play it's third and 13.
Ran a little old counter play, and those guys are so big in there we couldn't run them. But anyway, we'll continue to work the ball on the ground. Corey was wide open on this play, and our protection wasn't good. I've got to check the protection on that. I think this is the boot pass right here. No, not yet, but it's coming up in just a second. But the fact that we kept the ball on the ground.
Watch out.
He's going 3 people. There's 1, 2, 3.
And he gets the first down, Coach. Look at this.
And Big 77 hawks him down about
First
3.
and goal. And that was 3rd and 12, Coach, on that play.
Absolutely. And Hughley bangs it in. I want to say that he scored. I think we'll come in on the next
close,
one.
Coach. He was close.
Let Big Kelvin walk in.
I think
with
Jeter
it.
said it was an NFL touchdown on that.
Absolutely.
On that play.
We're getting great blocking over on the left side.
27-0. Coach, we went up on our first possession and scored. That was big, I know.
And Dallas makes it 28, and that's going to close out the scoring for the night.
To me, the fat lady's singing now, Coach. I tell you, I felt awful.
Well,
good.
I know you and Gordon want to talk about that, but
no,
but what we had to do now, Mark, is keep them from having plays like this right here. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, this Julius Williams kid here was one of their finest players. He's a senior, he's been around a while, and again, you're looking at another team here in the white uniforms that have been to the big game. And these kids were 9th graders when they won the state championship.
Well, they went 4 rounds last year.
Oh, I know, and chose and picked to win it again this year. So I thought this ball was out.
Me too, Coach.
Through the end line.
If you go in the end zone with your body, does the ball go back out to the?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be on the 20. But anyway,
we pounded it out for a first down.
We got a first down, and whoa, big hit right there.
Yeah.
We didn't block anybody on that counter play, and that ends the 3rd quarter. And it's 28-0, and boy, Mark told me it's 28. Yes, sir, buddy, I am, and I told somebody down there if they went through, go on throw the water right now because I still
just ended. Huh?
It's so the spread's so big right now. I think I'm gonna have to move on down to the other end, which I did later. But anyway, the name of the game now is to run the football and not give them anything big. Great play on the side over there by Sistrunk and Larkin and Greg Knight. Greg had to play almost the entire second half. Jason Clark broke his hand.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But he will be available for Friday night's game.
Well, he played well. Jason played real well. Here's an interception.
Tip ball. Greg Knight. I think it's Greg's first interception. It might be a second one, but that gives us 16 interceptions on the year. And we're really proud of Greg and the way he's come back. It's a great little run here. We put a couple of new formations in for him to get him the ball. And we're going to do the same with Corey.
Here's Alfredo here, fresh legs, getting 4 or 5
yards.
yards.
And I'm trying to save that ankle a little bit.
I understand.
It's getting better, and it's just about well. And, buddy, you're going to need him. We're going to need him in the playoffs. When you get in the playoffs and you have to play a game and then play another game, you don't want to have – you want to have your backs fresh. This is a screen pass that we threw last week. They defensed it real well. I think they worked on that maybe a pretty good amount of time.
Bad snap here, and he has to just fall on it. Rolls back there.
I've got to work more with Matt on his snap, and he's done well. But every game he'll have one bad snap, and you can't afford that against somebody good, and he knows that. And nobody feels worse about it than he does. And he's going to work on it, and he'll get better at it as we go along.
Another face mask here on the side.
Yeah, we got 2 of these in a row, and I think it's the worst penalty in football.
I do too.
But we did grab the face mask, but when you grab them, it's 15. Our guys got to understand that you can't grab masks. They fumble.
We get it, but
and the great recovery. I think that's J.R. Strickland. I got to see J.R.'s mother before the game, and A lot of the seniors, mamas and daddies, and it was always, you know,
Well, it was a long
so good to
pregame,
see.
wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was about 20 minutes.
Senior night at Bulldog Stadium.
Absolutely,
What
and
we're talking about.
it was a great night.
Yeah, what a way to end it for these seniors. I say end it, not really end the regular season at home with a big win over Central. Here we are pounding it away, kind of running the clock here, really.
Well, Mark, we were talking before the game. The seniors were about. Look at this great run right here by Fredo. They put so much work in it for 4 years, and they're really our babies. You know, they're the ones that started with us back in the ninth grade, and they've been here for the whole thing. And what a better way to end their career as far as regular season home games go than a win and to keep a streak alive at Bulldog Stadium. We got a pretty good little streak going there at the stadium now.
Yes, we do.
And so we want to try to get as many home games as we can. Anyway, we
Still no points for Central, Coach.
we know they're fixing to throw, but they got the little running quarterback in there, and he almost broke. That's Travis Spriggs brings him down. And on the next play, Travis going to cause a fumble.
That's right. I think he made 2 plays.
You know, Travis is really in a position now to really start to get some playing time. He had a little bruised shoulder a couple of weeks ago, and he's about where. Watch him. He knocks this ball out right there. And causes fumble number 2. We get that one, and he was real proud of the way he played.
We had a lot of new guys in there too then, so that was good to see them stop. And I love it when you can take a knee.
That's fun, isn't it? Look at our kids. Our kids. Old Joe Bagley.
You were pretty excited too,
yes,
Coach.
sir.
I tell you, and so was I.
We hugged a lot of. I tell you what I did. I told Peggy. I said I got to hug all the Opelika people that have been frustrated over the last 4 years, including myself, and that's the closest to heaven as you could be at Bulldog Stadium.
And you didn't get wet, Coach. You outfought the water cooler. I thought you were going to get a 15-yarder running on the field away from it. But
I think they got Coach Grider this time.
Well, they deserve to get Coach Grider. I tell you, he had a great defensive plan, Coach. He and your offensive coordinator, Brian Blackman. I want to, before we go to commercial, really congratulate Brian and Smitty and all your coaches. I don't say enough about your assistant coaches. How hard a job they really do.
A lot of people don't realize this. They get up to the school about 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoons, and they get home about 8 or 9 at night, and then they work 16, 17, 18 hours a day during football season. And it takes its toll. I know your families have to go through a lot, and a lot of people don't realize the preparation that goes in for a football game. But there's a lot of work involved, and these are very good men, and I appreciate them working the way they work for Opelika High School, and let's just keep it up. Let's keep going.
No doubt. 28-0. Dogs beat Central. We'll be back to talk about Auburn High School right after this. Okay, welcome back, Coach. I hate to leave the game, but we'll leave Central now. We're 8-0, 2-0. We have made the state playoffs. We have a chance to be area champions for the first time since you've been here. We play Auburn High School Friday at Duck Sanford. The Tigers had a big win Friday over Smith Station, 24-21. They were beaten by Central 32-7, but the Tigers came back and went to a hard place to play in Smith Station and won, and they put themselves in a position to make the playoffs with a win over Opelika and a little help from Smith Station.
Mark, what a great win over Smiths, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched Auburn. Their 2 big running backs ran for over 100 yards. Coach McCall and them they kept the ball a long time and ran the ball right at Smiths, and which we couldn't do on a regular basis. And I mean, they pounded them and did a great job, and are to be commended and put themselves in a chance to win an area championship. And I'm going to tell you something. The mark of a great coach is one, when you get beat, how well is his team going to react? And this Auburn team has fought and come back and fought hard. And we're going to have a ball game to play Friday night, a big football game. We're going to have to be ready to play. I have all the respect for them. Their offensive line averages about 296. They are huge. They're a lot better offensively than they were last year. And if you remember defensively, we only had 7 points on them midway. I'm talking about with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and then they got that. They intercepted a pass and were down there on our 15-yard line and didn't score, if you remember. And then Al broke one out, and their young defense, I think, got a little. They were young and they couldn't handle that adversity, and the floodgates kind of opened up on them. but this is not that kind of an Auburn team. I really think it's going to be a dogfight. I think they'll be ready to play. I surely hope we'll be ready to play because of the things that you say is at stake, an area championship. And, you know, we want to have an undefeated season, which I think is very, very important for our program, and to go into the playoffs as the area champion. So it ought to be a great, great game over at their place. And I don't know anything about tickets yet, but I'm sure by the time this show's on, if you will have or if you have not, call Auburn High School, and they will give you information on how to get tickets to the game.
We'll have it on the radio.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is going to be a sellout. I don't know how many more that stadium holds in our stadium, but I know there'll be a ton of Opelika people.
Well, I know. Well, and you know, in the past they've made all the Opelika people sit on one side and the Auburn people on the other side. There's not that much room on the visiting side, although they've done a lot of improvements to Duck Sanford but we've always packed it. And I know if you're going to go to the game, you need to get there early. I think you're able to park in the Winn-Dixie parking lot across the street from Duck Sanford, and the police allow you to walk over with a crosswalk. We'll know about tickets, as we said, on the radio, on the kicker, and you can, of course, call here or at Auburn High School to find out more information. They have a senior quarterback, I know, Coach. Do they like to throw the ball a lot? Or?
Yeah, well, they do both. You know, they spread you out all over the field, and then you don't know where they're going to run or throw, and that's the worst kind of team to prepare for. I remember when we played Auburn 3 years ago at Bulldog Stadium, another one of those games I'd like to forget. They spread us all out, and then they threw the ball, and they ran the ball, and it was when Washington was playing for them. And Vickerstaff and all those studs that Bill had, but you didn't know what they were going to do, and they were really hard to defense. This year's the same kind of thing. They got those two, the big running backs and the big offensive line, but Wilson throws the ball. He's a baseball player and got a great arm. And if you remember last year, he was throwing the ball real well over here at us at Opelika when he got, I think he broke his collarbone, and it left him without a passing game. And not only do they have Wilson, they've got Jack Hines' son, who is a great little punt returner, and he's not very big, but he can fly, and he's caused us some trouble in the past. But the key to the game, as it is to any game, is we've got to find a way to shut their running game down. We can't let those backs run for 100 yards. We got to put them in pass situations and make them throw the football. And then if they can beat us throwing the football, then more power to them. But that's the way we play, and that's what we'll. You don't have a certain player on their team to stop either. You got to stop their tailbacks, and you got to stop their quarterback, and you got to stop their wide receivers. So you got different areas to stop. And then on the other hand, we've got to be able to continue to run the ball, not turn the ball over, Mark. No turnovers in 2 games for us, which I'm real proud of. Real proud of. And we got to keep that up. Quit making stupid penalties. We had 2 face mask penalties. We've got to stop that. And we've got we had a holding penalty, and we had 2 offsides penalties. So we got to jumping offsides and stuff like that. It's just stupid. We don't need to do that. And we did lay off personal fouls, and I'd like to say this too about the Central game. It's a well-called game.
Right.
I think the Big East Officials Association did a great job with the game, and you never really knew they were out there. It was us and Central battling it out,
right.
and I'd like to commend them. I think it was a great game, but Auburn's got a kind of football team. They're 5-4, and if they beat us and win the area championship, don't you know that'd be the biggest year that they could ever imagine? On the other hand, we're going over there to win an area championship and do something that our football team has not ever done in a long, long time, and that is to win an area championship and host Carver High School out of Montgomery in the first round of the playoffs. So we'll see what takes place Friday, but we're looking forward to it. And the Auburn-Opelika game is always a big rival. Again, I hadn't been here but 3 years, and I hadn't really got into it. I hadn't gotten into it the last 3 years because we hadn't even been in the playoffs, and I'll be honest with you, I hadn't even really wanted to play in the game, but or be a part of the game. But this year I am, and I think our coaching staff will really be into it, and it'll be a great game.
Coach, before we go, let's go over the playoff format. Opelika has assured itself of a playoff berth with a win over Central. Now, if we beat Auburn, of course, we'll be the area champions. If Auburn were to beat Opelika, they got to have a little help from Smith
Sure do.
Station. I think Smith Station has to beat Central.
Smith
right?
Station would have to beat Central to put Auburn in the playoffs.
And that would make us area champion. No,
That-
that would make them area champion.
That's correct.
And for us to, we could still lose the game and be area championship with a Central win.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. I know that all sounds crazy, but
To go over it slowly, if we win, we're area champs. If we lose and Central wins, we're still area champs. If we lose and Smith Station win, Auburn's area champs and we're runner-up. So all that,
If y'all wanna
if you can
decipher
handle all
that,
that, you know, whatever.
call
But-
Mark Mitchell at home and let him decipher that too.
That's right. The game will be on the radio Friday night on the Kicker airtime at 7 o'clock. And, of course, if you can't go, tune us in. And, Coach, congratulations again. Big
Mark,
victory.
thank
Friday
you.
night. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And as I close, as always, thanks to everybody. I mean, every sponsor, everybody that supported us. Let's set our little old town on fire this Friday night, and let's really get going. You folks have been so good. The spirit has been outstanding, and all I can say is go Dogs, and let's see how far we can take this little old football team.
For Coach McCracken, thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Mark Mitchell. Good night.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. Stay tuned for the play-by-play by WKKR Kicker FM.